Can you imagine too if Jerry was, because the only knock that anybody ever had on Jerry, the only thing he could possibly critique
Mm-hmm.
is you could say, well, I wish he was a little taller. But
Mm.
if he was a little taller, dude, he would have been an even bigger star in the WWF and WCW than he was.
Yeah, he would have been a megastar.
But I'm glad that ECW existed because in ECW, at least, they proved that, hey, what really matters is how well can you do bell to bell? How well can you win over the fans?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to, pass some sort of litmus test based on the airport test or the eye test or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's not forget ECW at their peak. Taz was their top guy,
Sure.
and Taz was not the tallest guy, and that was never even a question with Taz. Like if you were a regular viewer of ECW, Taz's height almost never came up
Right.
because he had such credibility, such believability. Like they had us all convinced that Taz was the baddest dude on the planet, and that's what I loved about ECW because I don't know if ECW, if it didn't exist, would guys like the Dudleys or Taz have even gotten a shot in the WWE? I don't know.
I don't know. It's a good question. I, one thing I was noticing about Jerry Lynn when he turned his back to the camera, there is a
Yes.
similarity when he turns his back to the camera. Look at the fans going crazy.
Yep.
Uh, there's a similarity just from the back of Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That's actually
Yeah.
why I made that comparison when they were walking around the ring because I'm
Right.
like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
this is as close as we could get back then.
Right. Yeah. Oh,
Because I mean,
yeah.
we'd be lying if we said that guys like Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay and Okada, they were all inspired by the top stars from these eras.
Of course. I've mentioned many times that ECW had a profound impact on what we're seeing now.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. Probably more than WCW did or WWF did back in the days. The ECW product and the high spots and the crazy things that we do are ECW inspired. Fans always chant table, table. They always boo when no one goes to a table. And they put a table out. That's what they want to see.
Well, also too, I think what ECW had to do, because the old cliche is necessity is the mother of invention. You know, in WWE and WCW, you could afford to pay established stars top dollar. In ECW, they couldn't afford that luxury, so they always had to be focusing on making their next top star. So, what wrestling fans want above all else is new. They always want to know what's the big thing, what's the new move, what's the new match, what's the new promo, what's the new stipulation, who's the new act, who's the new tag team, what's the new. So it makes sense that if ECW, because of the economics, is forced to create new, but unfortunately they can't retain the very best in the world,
Mm-hmm.
the very nature of that business becomes a feeder system for the other two. And that is exactly what happened
Right.
with ECW and WCW and WWE.
Right.
I mean, even Ring of Honor. I mean, look at Ring of Honor was sort of born in the ashes of ECW as Feinstein tried to figure out, hey, how am I going to sell videotapes if I don't have an ECW license because there's no ECW? I'll
Mm-hmm.
just create a super indie myself. But the result was guys like Brian Danielson and CM Punk and Samoa Joe and Nigel McGuinness and I mean so many others, Claudio, Chris Hero, on and on and
Right.
on.
Right.
They all came right through Ring of Honor, and of course, out of the ashes of Ring of Honor is All In. Like without Ring of Honor, that very first All In Schaumburg probably doesn't happen.
Right.
And without All In being a proof of concept, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
that AEW happens.
Yeah.
So in a weird way, you can trace back AEW's roots very loosely to ECW.
Of course. That makes plenty of sense. You know what's amazing to me too, and I don't know if you being in your 40s, I don't know if you realize it now or not, but uh, in my 60s, I realize it. How quickly time goes by. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, no doubt.
it's just unbelievable. when I think about uh, you're you're thinking about this was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
25 freaking years ago. My God. And I can remember, back when we were changing over to the new millennium and we're talking about computers. What was that deal with computers?
Y2K. Yeah.
Yeah, the Y2K scare and everything. Well, we got through that. Um, but yeah, look at that, man. Just try to do a freaking moonsault and
And
you're
just
able
eat
to
shit right on the hardwoods.
right on the hardwood.
That's the thing is I know that there's a lot of people who want to, oh, well, the ring's a trampoline, wrestling's fake. It's like, hey, lady, he just flipped off a metal onto hardwood floors and splatted.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're going to say, oh, he's wearing knee pads. Why don't
Mm-hmm.
you go put some knee pads on and just recreate it for us, Meemaw? Show us how
Mm-hmm.
fake it is.
Yeah. Yeah, bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, eat shit on the hardwood. And while you got those knee pads on, watch out, Jerry here with a vertical suplex. No, a face buster.
Why you got those knee pads on? What was the rest?
I don't know. I'm old and my mind comes and goes.
Maybe you're thinking about getting the baseboards.
Mm. 1, 2. Mm.
I know how much you like, getting the baseboards.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
When was the last time Lois got the baseboards for you?
Mm. Never.
What?
Never.
Ric Flair said that to me once. He goes, yeah, she must be Jewish. And I said, what does that mean?
Mm.
And it meant she doesn't do the baseboards.
Mm.
And I hadn't heard that before. Is that a thing?
I haven't heard that either. I've never
I
heard that.
want I didn't
Well,
tell him, but I was like, well, your daughter's mom is Jewish and
mhm.
she does the
Yeah.
baseboards.
Well, here's the thing behind that story is that the Nature Boy Ric Flair, better than anyone, is full of shit.
Wait now, hang on.
Yeah.
Why would you
Well,
say that? Hey,
because
speaking
he
of
is.
which, have you seen any good tweets over the weekend?
No, I don't look at Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You got any good IG posts over the weekend?
I don't look at. Okay, let me tell you my Twitter story.
Okay, I love this.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So, I'm not on Twitter because it's a cesspool.
Right? We all know.
And okay, so I just Tony had asked me a question about somebody's Twitter, and I said, "Well, let me look it up." And so I thought, "All right, I'll bring Twitter back, and I'll look up somebody's account, one of our wrestlers." That's about so I did. So I go back to the hotel that night, and I got Twitter on, and I click on it, and I start scrolling through these videos, right? And there's this one Twitter account. It's obviously a very racist Twitter account, and it shows what this person thinks is African American people acting badly. And I got to thinking, well, shit, white people act badly too. Believe you me, I know. And anyway, he showed this video of a kid at this dog spa. Uh, the dog wouldn't listen, so he's just beating the dog with his fist. And I remember getting so fucking mad that I was hoping that I would find out where this dog spa was. Um, and then all of a sudden I stopped and I said, you know what? I don't need to see this. And this is a sign that I should never be on Twitter again. So I deleted it from my phone once again. So next time my boss asks me to look up something on Twitter, I'm gonna say, ask somebody else. I do not want to be involved in that bullshit. Just horrible things online. I can't believe for the life of me the stuff that is online. It's just, I know I'm old. I get it, but it's just terrible. So when you ask me, you check out any Twitter this weekend, the answer is no. If you see any Twitter posts, they're done by my daughter. I'm never going to call it up again because of that probably 10-minute window of me at the hotel that night, just going through these different videos, seeing this stuff happen. Who would post a guy beating up a dog on video? Who would post that? So anyway, what is it about Twitter?
Well, nothing.
Okay.
Appreciate you getting on your soapbox. That was
Yeah.
fun. Don't we all love summer vacation, relaxing, laying out by the pool, barbecues, hitting the beach, doing, well, nothing? Well, how about a summer vacation from your house payments? With SaveWithConrad.com, you can do just that. Reduce your monthly payments by making the equity you built up in your home work for you. You can roll together those high interest rate credit cards into one lower monthly payment and perhaps access some of that newfound equity to turn your house into your dream home with no money out of pocket. And how about this? You get to skip your next 2 house payments. That's right. You won't have to make your June or your July house payment. You're done until August 1st. Go right now to SaveWithConrad.com. Let my team run the numbers for you for free. There's no obligation, and if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. And did I mention we're offering a 3-year guarantee right now? That's right. That means if at any point interest rates improve over the next 3 years, you get a free refi. That's right. No new lender fees from us. So you get to save money now without wasting money later when the rates improve on a whole second set of closing costs. Why not go to SaveWithConrad.com and get a guarantee? Save money now and save money later with your friend in the mortgage business. That's me, Conrad Thompson at SaveWithConrad.com. Shoot me an email at Conrad@SaveWithConrad.com. Give us a call at 888-425-0105. Or get yourself a quick quote, even talk to a live person right now at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. Let's take a summer vacation from house payments at SaveWithConrad.com.